Regan Slaymaker for Not Just Boxing. I have the pleasure to be joined by the British, the Commonwealth and the former European lightweight champion Sam Noakes. Sam, how are you doing today, mate?
Yeah, doing very well. That form was a little bit upsetting, but yeah, it is what it is now.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it just mandatories called? Because you had quite a few mandatories called,
Yeah, so
I think.
I think it was just one of them fights that I don't know if we're moving on or looking more like, a little ahead than that. But I think obviously it come out and they just didn't want to entertain it, so we just relinquished it. To be fair, I found out about it like online. That's when I first heard about it. Was online anyway. I said, "Oh, all right, I lost that one," but it is what it is.
So you had no idea about vacating it?
I didn't know. But to be fair, obviously Frank and I have got in my career. They know what they've been doing. They've been doing this for years anyway. So I think it was obviously for a reason, innit? And I was trying to pursue a world title shot, really. So I'm not that I'm overlooking anyone or anything like that, but that's what we got our eyes on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I was going to. Sorry, some commotion going on behind us, but I was going to say because obviously with this fight on Saturday, obviously it was a late addition to the card, and also the opponent isn't the opponent that people were expecting you to fight next. Is that what it is? Kind of get the ring rust off and then a big fight next.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a strange one for me really, because I didn't even think I've never done an 8-rounder before. This is my first in my 17th fight. This is my first 8-rounder, and I've even. Like Al said as well, makes it a little bit sad really. I've had 8 title fights back to back, and then obviously this will be my first one that's not a title fight. But as in looking ahead and working on the bigger picture, you've got to take these, because otherwise, if I get a big fight in the summer, which is looking like I'm going to be having, you don't want to be going in there after 8 months out of the ring. So obviously I've got a tough customer. He's coming to win. I know he's going to be up for it. I know it's the usual spiel, but I think he is, and just want to get in there and get the job done.
Definitely. I was going to say I looked at his record quickly. I didn't know much about him, but he's on a good win streak, and he's had a few 10-rounders in there as well.
I think he's coming to fight. I think he's not going to just be a walkover. No way. I think he's definitely going to go a few rounds. I don't think it's going to be just a nice walk in the park, one round and done job. But listen, we train hard. I've come too far for all this sort of stuff. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Just going to get in there, do what I do best, and then get the job done.
Definitely, mate. As well, I see in the interview that they've done with Frank that they are planning a big fight for you as well. Obviously, you've kind of ticked every box at domestic level as well.
Well, that's what I mean. I think it's been coming for a little while, isn't it? Like, without blowing my own trumpet, but I had like the British Commonwealth, European, and that WBO. The only title I was lacking was a world one. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we got close to that with Baranjic, and obviously that never come off. But I'm hoping. I've just got thing is, you just got to sort of stay in your lane a little bit, to keep doing what you're doing, keep working hard, and obviously not slip up or do anything wrong, and then just it will come in it as long as you keep winning. So that's where I'm at with it at the minute.
Definitely as well. I don't think I've actually got the opportunity to speak to you about that, because as soon as I see the fight announced, I was buzzing for you. Like, so I make it on edit ready.
Francis rang me, and I remember thinking, oh my god. Like, I remember being on the phone. I rang my mum, and I was like, man, I was choking up. I was thinking, mate, finally getting that opportunity, and then it was like, oh yeah, but it's 95% done, and I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, and then it was like, oh no, it's coming, and it was a bit back and forth, and then obviously I got told it weren't happening. Then we went out there. I went out to they had the merchandise shops, and I was looking in.
You're on the t-shirts, mate.
That's me. I said I was on the t-shirt. I bought one anyway, didn't I? But so it just shows it was close. So it's coming.
It definitely is as well, and I mean, I feel like Baranjic would. I feel like you'd have won that fight as well.
I mean, listen, he's a good operator. I think, listen, that fight, if that ever comes up again, like, I will still, because that's a good scalp to get, a good name on your record, and it's obviously before that world stage, you're going to need a few tough fights, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So in the meantime, whilst I'm waiting for that opportunity to come up, if that fight comes up, mate, I'll grab that with both hands.
Definitely. I mean, that would be a great fight as well. And in between that time as well, rounds of Shakur Stevenson. I don't think I haven't seen.
Yeah. I feel like I've done nothing for ages. No. It's only been, so what's it been, 5 months, nearly to the day since December. But it feels like I've been well out the loop, mate. Well out the loop.
It's good though, because like, obviously, when I've interviewed you, you didn't let your fists do the talking. You don't do too much talking in interviews, but that must have been a big moment. And you've got Shakur in. I think Shakur spoke more about it than you have, mate, as well.
I haven't done no interviews since, but I remember. So I was sat down for a Chinese, yeah, and Al rings me up. He's like, "Oh, you're sparring tomorrow?" I was like, "Oh, great." I said, "Who am I sparring?" And he was like, "Shakur," and I was like, "Shakur who?" And he was like, "Stevenson," like, because I was thinking, no, I must be hearing something. He can't mean the one I'm thinking of. And he's like, Shakur Stevenson. I remember just like put me chicken ball down, and I was like, oh no. ruined my day. I've had better Mondays, but world-class operator.
Was there anything that, obviously you're all peers, and I don't want to say, and I don't want to make this sound patronising, but was there anything that you learnt from him in there when you were doing the rounds?
No, not so much about learning. I think it's more just dealing with, like, obviously he's world level, and he's 3-time world champion. Do you know what I mean? He's as good as they come and as tricky as they come. And he's very good with his lead hands as well. But I mean, he wanted to do like 5 4-minute rounds as well. And obviously, I hadn't been in the gym, like, I hadn't been training, yeah. And I was thinking, well, like 4-minute rounds, it's hard to like sort of gauge what you got to do. So obviously, like the first 2 rounds, I was thinking, I'm not getting tired. But then obviously the back ones, it was all right. So, but I think it's just good to see that you're thereabouts, do you know what I'm saying? It's not that far. You know, when everyone thinks, like, you see them in the bright lights and they all look massive, don't they? And then you see them in passing and it ain't that far away.
It definitely isn't, mate. I mean, it was some rounds, and that's another moment where I was like, okay, I'm glad that these world level names are getting to know who you are. Cause
that's what I mean, it's good exposure. But I think, like, that's what I was doing in January. And then now I'm only just here, and like, I've been a long camp, mate, been in the gym for ages, but I still think it's been a bit of a slow start, but I still think it's going to be a good year.
Definitely as well. I think where you have ticked off all those belts at domestic level and European level as well, I mean, it's only right that you get that big opportunity as well. So.
Put the work in now, and I've got a good payoff.
For sure. I mean, Sam, I'll leave it there. I feel I kept you long enough, but
it's a good little chat. Flow, mate.
Thank you very much.
I put on a miserable face. I don't want to do no interviews. Then start doing them and just chatting shit.
You'll never say no to me, Sam.
Not
Sam,
you,
best
mate.
of luck for Saturday, and yeah, look forward to being back in the iBox soon, mate.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers. Thanks a lot.